Hi everyone, Todd White here from Potomac Financial Group, and I wanted to share another video message with you all today. And for today's message, I wanted to focus more on the emotional impact that the coronavirus crisis is having on a lot of us. And I know it's impacted me as well. And so I thought just sharing my experience around this and my thoughts about this might be helpful, as many of you might be going through a similar situation or having similar thoughts. And initially this may not seem like a financial topic or have much of an impact on portfolios or things like that, but I will tell you, in just about every conversation that I'm having with folks, the emotional side of things comes up rather quickly. I mean, our fears and our uncertainty and anxiety and all that is having a major impact on how we view our portfolios and the decisions that we make. And so the two are very closely tied together. That's always the case, but in times like this of heightened emotions and fear and the panic that we've seen over the last couple of weeks, I think it's especially true. And Raymond James for many years had an analyst that would say, his overall view of the stock market was that it's nothing more than fear, hope, and greed, all loosely tied to the business cycle. And would draw charts showing the stages of emotions that we would go through as the market goes up and down and through the cycles that we experience. And I think that's really true. And I think when we go through times like this, it's even more apparent than the good times. And it does impact people's decisions in a major way, as far as whether they decide to sell out or whether they decide to buy more or just stay put and not do anything. I mean, that is very much an emotional decision. And so I think having control over our emotions, or at least being aware of the emotions that we're having, is extremely important through this. And, if you think about just how quickly our lives have been turned upside down, it changed quite a bit in the last month, to say the least. And it's not just our portfolios and what's going on with the markets. We're forced to stay at home. Our relationships with our friends and family have changed, and we're cooped up inside and spending more time in front of the TV and in front of our phones and iPads, consuming all of this news that's out there. And I don't have to tell anybody, how the news channels and anybody putting out content like that, one of their main goals is to elicit those feelings from us so that we click on more things or that we watch longer. And a good example of that, I think, is over the weekend I was trying to get an update. I was trying to watch the press conference that was on Saturday afternoon. And so while I was waiting for everybody to take the stage, I just noticed on the right-hand side of the screen, in a big red vertical box, it had the number of total cases of the coronavirus, and it had the total number of deaths, and it was a worldwide number. And it almost seemed like a scoreboard, something that we had to keep track of on a minute-to-minute basis to just, stay on top of things. And, I noticed that it didn't say anything about the number of people that have recovered, which is well over 100,000 at this point. That number wasn't reported, and nor was the number of cases that are considered mild at this point, which is, roughly 96% of the cases at this point are in the mild category. And so those two things weren't part of the minute-to-minute update. I have to think that the reason why is because that wouldn't make you as fearful as just reporting the total number of cases that we've experienced so far and the deaths. And so, what has been helping me, I think, I think the key here is that we don't allow those emotions to take over, our mindset, and don't allow that to impact how we interact or the decisions that we make. And I'm not saying we bury our heads in the sand and don't listen or watch any part of the news. I think we need the news. We need that to make our decisions and to see what's going on. Perhaps we don't need as much of it, but we still need to be paying attention. But I think it's most important to just be especially aware and mindful of what is happening, and take stock of your thoughts and try to separate the negative emotions that are in there so that you don't become those emotions, so that you don't become overridden with fear and anxiety and in some cases panic, because it's not helpful and it's not useful to anything that we have to do right now, and quite frankly it's not healthy. And so finding a way to deal with that, and for me it's meditating in the morning and just taking 10 to 20 minutes and practicing that mindfulness and just really trying to have a still mind for just a short amount of time, and then try and carry that through the day. I'm not a meditation guru by any standpoint, but it helps me to do that. Exercise is another one that helps a lot of people, and I should probably do more of that too. But whatever it is, I think we need to find a way to do that so that we don't become our emotions. And along with this video, I'm going to post a link to a video that I think just became available today. In fact, as I was making this video, which I'm probably on the 20th take right now of this, but I took a break and looked at my phone to get updates, and noticed an update from Tony Robbins and his wife. And so I'll post a link to that, because the message is the same. And he does it a whole lot better than I can. And it's really a very uplifting and encouraging video. And I've watched it twice already, and I want to share it with all of you to help spread that message as well, that it's not, fear is not our only choice, and certainly not panic. And if we can find a way to gain control of our minds, just how powerful that can be and how helpful that can be. And so I hope this message helps you. If you have any questions or want to talk some more about your portfolios or any of the things I mentioned today, that's what we're here for. So stay healthy and stay well, and we'll talk to you soon.